Hi, I'm Christy Friesen, and today I'm going to show you how to take a simple metal bezel like this and turn it into color like this. You can even use antique metals like bronzes and coppers, different platings. Doesn't matter if they're raw or coated, you can pop some fun color on them permanently. Let's see how to do it. I'm going to start with a simple metal bezel. This is one of my creative art forms, and it's a pewter metal bezel with a coating on it, and that means that it normally would resist a lot of coloring agents and patinas and that sort of thing, but we're going to use Swellegant sealant and Swellegant dye to turn it into a permanently colored piece. Now the fun thing about those Swellegants is that they are made to color metal, and we're going to do it so that you use as little as possible. So what you need is just a little Ziploc bag that you can stick your bezel in and shake, shake, shake your sealant. Now I'm going to just pour a little bit in. This is a brand new sealant, so I got to open the lid and I'm going to pour a little in. The measurement is not overly precise here, so you can just put enough in to kind of cover that whole bezel. And then we're going to drop in a little bit of your colorant. You don't need much. The more you put in, the deeper the color will be. The longer it stays in contact with the dye, the deeper the color will be. So I've put in just a little bit of a drip. Make sure if you get some on you, you wipe it off, because this stuff likes to dye pretty permanently. Now seal it shut. Get out most of the air carefully, no splashing. And shake it around. Shakety, shake, 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 shaky, shake, shake, shake. So you see what I'm doing is I'm making that puddle of Swellegant infused dye be all over my bezel. Now I'm going to do it so that it's folded up and most of the liquid is touching the metal. See what I've got? I've got a little bath going on, and you just let it sit like that for a while. Every now and then you can come back and play with it and touch it. Try not to get any holes in it. We're going to let that sit for 15 minutes and then see what it looks like. Okay, let's see what we've got. Now, you're going to want to use this dye for other things. You can keep using it and using it and using it, but we want to make sure that it stays in its airtight bag. So I'm very carefully using a pair of tweezers. Don't pierce the side of the bag to lift this out of here and set it down on a little bit of paper towel. Then wipe your tweezers off, because it'll dye them too. And then immediately, carefully zip up your bag again and gently push that air out. Get as much air as you can. Air will dry it all up. All right, so save that for later. And let's look at what we have. Now we've got a pretty nice coverage. It's kind of light, but it's got a nice pale blue. The nice thing about this is you can just keep building it up to get it as dark as you want. But what I'm going to do is quickly dry it with an embossing gun. And the reason I'm doing that is that this dye has the sealant in it, and that will get sticky. So if it sticks onto something like your tile or whatever else, it might be a little bit more permanent that you want. So I've got this. I'm going to just give it a nice dry to seal it. I'm doing it on a ceramic tile, as you can see, and I'm going to flip that baby over. In fact, at this stage, I'm going to hold it with pliers so I can get front and back. Just repeat that process until it's dry to the touch. Don't touch it, it's hot. And then you can keep putting it back if you want to get that darker and darker. Okay? So once the piece is sort of dry, we can start adding other things. What I like to do is a fun little trick is I'm going to get it hot, and while it's hot, I'm going to dab it with a mixture of dye and sealant. So I've put about half and half dye and sealant in here white because I want to build up some areas that are white. So it can go on to the hot metal without any problem. Ready? See how it builds up much faster because the metal is hot? It kind of grabs and solidifies the sealant quickly. The hotter the metal gets, the more bubbly that surface will be, because it does actually almost like boil it. Sometimes that looks really cool. So if you don't want that, let it cool a little bit, then dab. If you like it, go for it. Okay, and you're done. Let it cool because it's hot, and you will have a beautifully colored and variegated colored metal. Just ready for whatever creative nonsense you've got next. Fill it up with resin, add epoxy bits to it, put polymer things in it. Who knows what you'll do?